I'm afraid. I'm afraid. That's why I picked this music right here. I'm afraid. I'm gonna lose my channel. Or at least there's not gonna be no more YouTube. I can get some subscribers the cheap way. I can do stupid reaction videos that don't make no sense to me, but Square Enix, come on, man. I need to take the glasses off. This is too serious. Oh. Come on, TETSUYA. What are you doing? What are you actually doing, TETSUYA? Now, before I react on that, the first thing you want to know is these pretty games you got. You've got your Crisis Core, your Avid Children movie, both editions, and Dirge of Cerberus. I'm going to tell you the truth, they're no longer canon. Square Enix has wiped them off canon. Because they're going to make Final Fantasy VII not follow the canon. Now, I got mixed feelings about this. First of all, I like the canon. I like the way it was before. But I also got mixed feelings, too, because I don't know what they're going to do with the extra characters. I don't know what they're going to do with Vincent or Yuffie. But what I'm scared of is if they do make them, they might not be party members. I'm scared that they could end up just like how Ravis and Idolus and Verstal is in Final Fantasy 15. I think I got an idea of what game TETSUYA Norma wants to make. He wants to make another Final Fantasy 15. Now, don't get me wrong, the game sold really well, but the reason why I got 7 is because of what they did. It got ripped apart by critics. Chapter 13, nobody knows what happens in the 10 years. And then they have to put DLC to fill that to make people buy the game. You know. And also, Final Fantasy 15, they cut scenes of Ravis. They cut scenes of Idolus. There's only 2 scenes of Idolus. One where he's in the throne room telling the Nephilim Empire what to do, and then the second he's the demon form Feroz. But the point is like I hope that Tetsuya Norma is not considering to turn this into a Final Fantasy 15. If you had to make this episodically, please make this game episodically, please. Please, if you're going to do this. If you're going to cut all this stuff out, if you're going to cut all this old canon out, then you know what? You owe us. You owe us. We do want a Yuffie. We do want a Vincent related to the story. And we have to have Zack. How Cloud got his Buster Sword by Zack dying. They're going to have to make an interpretation. Now, I get that they can't do it by the original because the original has some inconsistency issues. But at least, make them, if you're going to make it a new canon, please make them part of your canon. And please do not make extra characters only for them to be scrapped out of the game. Come on, Tetsuya Nomura. You cannot seriously think that Tabata did well with your game. Now, don't get me wrong. I have defended Tabata. I have damage control for Final Fantasy 15 and in the past. And it's still a good game. I still play it. But they did bad things. They did things that were terrible. That's not likable to any standard. It's like same thing with a movie. If you create a movie and you hype certain characters to be part of the main cast, then we want to see them more. I get that they're trying to make Noctis in Final Fantasy 15, you know, through the eyes of Noctis, but Ravis is part of Noctis' life. Ravis is the rival character of Noctis. Ravis is like Goku, like Goku's Vegeta, like Yugi's Seto Kaiba. He's a rival character, like Final Fantasy VIII's Cypher to Squall. That's what Ravis was to Noctis. If it wasn't for Ravis pushing Noctis, Noctis probably wouldn't get that strong because, again, Noctis still, you know, I mean, one of the other things he had was a grudge. But it's like, how do you cut Ravis out? Plus, Noctis was supposed to be married to Ravis' younger sister, Luna Freya. And you're going to cut someone who's directly related to that part of the relationship? Really? And you have to watch the movie? I'm not watching no movie for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I understand Final Fantasy VII as it is. I'm not watching no movie. I'm not watching no movie for Final Fantasy VII Remake. They better have all their characters. If you have to make this episodic, I will. Please do. Please do. Otherwise, you could be facing the end of Final Fantasy because you're not going to have any money to make Final Fantasy 16 if you're going to do bad stuff. Please, Tetsuya Nomura, I beg of you. I know, Tabata's good at other games. Tabata's best games were Final Fantasy Type 0 and the spin-off game Crisis Core. But when he made a main game like Final Fantasy 15, he didn't do it very well. I beg of you, Tetsuya Nomura. I beg of you, do not mess with your characters. If you have certain characters to be main characters, keep them as main characters. You know? If you're going to change the canon a little bit, that's fine. But, you know, Vincent's got to know Lucretia. Lucretia's got to give birth to Sephiroth. Yuffie's got to steal your materia. You have to get your materia back and get Leviathan as a side quest. Zack still has to die and give Cloud his Buster Sword and may be the main reason why Cloud joined Soldier in the first place. Whether you do it by the original canon where Cloud thought he was Zack, or whether you tease it early that Zack died and gave the Buster Sword to Cloud, you still got to keep some of those elements in there. You don't have to have this stuff be canon. That's fine. That's fine. It's up to you on that. I mean, I had mixed feelings about that because I actually like the canon, but I'm just, only reason I'm scared, I'm not mad, I'm not pissed off, but I am scared because it looks like Tetsuya Nomura is going to try and do with Tabata, and Tabata's a wonderful director, but I think Type 0 should have been his last project due to the fact Final Fantasy 15 was a bad failure. And I know it wasn't all Tabata's fault. They cut and edit things. But please, for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, please do not make this another Final Fantasy 15. Please. Please. You want this game to be sold. This is going to get you the money for Final Fantasy 16 or any other games you want to make. You know. Oh, perfect song too. The Nightmare Begins, because it is a nightmare. I'm asking you. I'm begging you. I'm pleading you. Don't do a Final Fantasy 15. Okay? Just don't, Tetsuya Nomura. You're better off having your own vision. If you take out the canon and change the canon, do it, but I want you to do it for you. I want you to change the canon for your game. Don't try to copy Tabata and make characters and never use them. Not to mention, make the story confusing. If you have to charge different prices for the episodes, I'd rather do that. I will pay more money for the episodes, even if I have to buy it digitally after I buy the disc. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this article has made me unhappy. I almost swerved today because this article made me this mad. Because I have mixed feelings toward it. But this article, I don't know what to say, but it looks like it's a scary future. And again, I have mixed feelings with the canon, but just for anyone who just comes in this video right away, these things are no longer canon anymore. These are gone. These are no longer canon. If you still want to play the canon to this game, you can still play the Final Fantasy VII PC edition. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to scrap some stuff. But I'm just saying, they cannot scrap Zack, Yuffie, and Vincent because they were part of the original. Now, you could scrap Genesis. Nobody's going to really bat an eye if you scrap Genesis. If you scrap Genesis, that's not going to be nothing. Same thing with Vice Day, Keemler, or the Deep Ground, or anything like that. But they got to keep Vincent and Yuffie, and that's really what's more important, is they got to keep Vincent and Yuffie, at least. They got to at least keep Vincent and Yuffie in there, because haste makes waste. And you don't want to throw away money, Square Enix. I'm telling you right now, look what Tabata did with Final Fantasy 15. And look what the company did, because they forced Tabata to do all this. But look what happened to Final Fantasy 15. It would have got a solid 8. It probably would have been Game of the Year if they would have done what they were supposed to. Because not just only people who are longtime fans of Final Fantasy games, but people who play video games in general doesn't like the vague, jump cut from 10 years in the past to the 10 years in the future. They want something in the middle, the solid ground in the middle. They don't want characters to be made and then told to you that they're the main character, that they play a huge role in this. and we bought them from Versus 13, and they play a huge role, but then you only give them 2 or 3 scenes, and then later on say, oh, we're sorry, here's a DLC. You know, in fact, they remind me of the one guy in South Park. The sorry guy. That's what they remind me, because that's why they're giving us these DLCs now, these episode Gladiolas and stuff, and they're gonna give us an episode Ravis and possibly a Versus 13 in the 10 years, and that would have been at least better if, I don't know if they would have came out with all that stuff in the beginning. I'm just telling you, Tetsuya Norma, as a fan, go ahead, cut all that canon out if you want to. That's up to you. But please don't copy Tabata. You're better than this. You're gonna make Final Fantasy great again. Please, I urge you to make the game based on your imagination and not try to cut, censor, chop up, and just ruin the game. This is a remake, for crying out loud. You know? This is a remake people been wanting. Ever since we saw the tech demo in 2000, I think it was 2009, on the PS3, we've been wanting this game. For the reason that this was the best and the most definitive Final Fantasy game of all time. And still stayed there because 15 disappointed us. That's why it's important, Square Enix and Tetsuya Norma, that you make this game on your own, you know, on your own mindset, and not in the same mindset that Tabata did, okay? Let's not make that happen. And I'm going a little bit over time, but I just want to say, please don't. If you're going to take up the story canon, that's fine. But don't make this like Final Fantasy 15, okay? And may the crystal be with you. Let's hope that this remake turns out real good. This is our only hope for a good Final Fantasy